And I proceeded to tell them, you know, I want 2 bisexual women who want to be in a relationship with me.
You want what?
Hey, what's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy KiteZz with my lovely wife, It's Just Alex.
What's up, people?
Listen, Pop the Balloon is the content that we currently always react to by Arlette Amuli and a couple other guys like Frenchie, T. Pendel, all that, right? Pop the Balloon had a character named Dr. Elom. He has been the thumbnail of 2 of our videos. We call him Dr. Evil. That is his nickname. One thing that people have a misconception of is when we're doing the reactions, we don't actually have personal feelings or biases towards these people. Let me go full screens because that's not a very good pose for him. But we don't actually have any like biases or grievances against the guy. We don't like, I don't have no personal disdain towards him. I know the content and the clips, like it may be easy, but at the end of the day, I also am not an advocate of, you know, I can only react to what is happening on the screen. I don't ever react to the person as they are in general. Meaning that whatever you portray on the video, that is what I'm gonna make my assumption of her. But once the video ends, my feelings and my biases and whatever, how I feel about you is not, that's not real. You get what I'm saying? So one thing we try to do is when we do the reactions, we try to stay unbiased. We try to, you know, give people the benefit of the doubt. And if people do have opportunities to, you know, share their truths or their experiences about it, we're not gonna ever be those type of people that like, I don't want to hear your side. I don't want to hear her side. Only time we did that was when that chick wasted that dude's time. Other than that, I didn't care. But
We watch a lot of Pop the Balloon, so I don't even.
yeah,
I can't even.
it was the
remember which-
Tippendale one.
Yeah.
Tippendale live. But Dr. Elom apparently made his own YouTube channel and he's exposing his experience on Pop the Balloon to show you guys that we are unbiased and prove that we have no ill will towards the guy, which is, we shouldn't have to, but we will. I'm gonna watch his video out of respect for him. Yeah, we're gonna watch his video out of respect for him, hear what he has to say, and we're gonna come into this unbiased with no prior feelings. I'm just gonna hear what he has to say. We're still gonna react to it, but let's find out what the good doctor really has to say. He has a nice looking place. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong? All right, let's kick it in. This is Dr. Elom's Pop the BS, the truth behind Pop the Balloon.
My name is Dr. Elom, and you may know me from the popular Pop the Balloon show on YouTube. But I'm here to say I'm done with Pop the Balloon. I had a great time on the show. I was grateful for the platform to be able to go and express my wants and share my life and be open to the criticism and the love. It's been a wild ride, but I feel like now is the time that I need to step up and give you guys the real version of me. I am a traveling dentist. I am a creative. I love to write music.
Oh, that's the video. I'm like, what the freak going on?
You was looking around like a flying saucer was coming in.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? Okay, no, my fault.
That's his
I love
background.
to go to the beach. I love to meditate and do yoga. And so this is an opportunity for me to reach out to my community, to share my life and share who I am, and to get some feedback. I'm not ignorant to the idea that I may be a little bit condescending and a little bit of a know-it-all because I've been through all the school and I've done all the therapy and I've had a lot of experiences, but I'm gonna share it with you. And as we go through this journey, hopefully you can learn a little bit about me. But let's start at the beginning. Let's start at Pop the Balloon. It's the beginning of the year and I got someone sliding in my DMs wanting to know if I wanted to do a dating show. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm single, I'm out there. Let's see what the city has to offer. It was a great time, you know.
Okay. Okay. His intro, I was gonna say something about his intro, but I feel like self-awareness is the key to self-reflection, right? So you have to be aware of the habits and stuff that people say you have. If there's a large majority of people are complaining about something that you're doing, there's a good chance that you're doing it. Mm-hmm. And it's also the grain of salt, because a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. So a group of people can cling to a lie, and suddenly that lie becomes truth, which is also how it works. Again, we have no bias or personal opinion about him as a person, but the character, we can say, the Dr. Elom we got to see on Pop the Balloon, that is who we can have our opinion of. Mm-hmm. And the person that we experienced on Dr. Balloon was in fact narcissistic. It was in fact a know-it-all, was in fact hypocritical. But if you're saying that it's a character that you are portraying, then I feel like it is fair for people to criticize the character you were playing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's fair for people to criticize you as a person overall. Just like people come for me, they cancel me, they talk about me, all that stuff off of how we do on the reaction. But there's a fine line between when we're done reacting to stuff versus when we are. Outside of this, like I say in every other video, to the point we even have to put disclaimers. When this camera turns off, this is not, we don't do this. We go to our normal lives, do our thing. So, you got anything?
No. Yeah, there was a little bit of controversy, but I had a great time. And for those of you who don't know, the girl that I matched with, we ended up just being friends. We went to dinner, had a great time, had great conversation, but we decided we wanted different things out of life. I'm gonna get back to that in a second, because they asked me to be on Pop the Balloon again. And I was like, okay, why not? You know, if I can dish it, I gotta be able to take it, right?
Okay.
Oh, I was not ready. I was not ready for the lion's den.
Dang.
That's the best way I can describe it.
Cause they chewed him up.
Now here's something important I want to point out. This is why I say when we do our reactions, we go into it with the same energy I present to the female contestants when it's their lineup is the same energy I have to present to the male contestants on their lineup.
You gotta be fair.
We gotta be fair. And there's a lot of things that we call stupid and we point out like, bro, females do this, females do this, females do this. But then when we look at the male things, we'll see the males do the exact same thing they called the females out for. But I notice on the internet, women will ignore what women are doing and men will ignore what men are doing. But when you call out each of the group for what they actually are doing and you say, hey, person A, you're doing the same thing person B's doing. You, person B, you're doing the same thing person A's doing. All hell breaks loose. Nobody wants to hear it.
It's delusion. It's just straight delusion.
Mm-hmm.
If me and you walk into the store at the same time and I steal a bag of chips and you steal a bag of chips, but I get arrested for it,
I'm still a thief. You're just a thief that got caught, but exactly. I'm still a thief.
Exactly.
But that way the internet works, well, haha, you a thief. You got caught stealing some chips. Even though when I get behind closed doors, the truth is, I stole chips too.
Like when we was going to Vegas,
yeah,
that man was speeding.
Yeah.
That man was speeding. He pulled you over.
Yeah. we was on our little vacation to Vegas. I was going flow of traffic. I'm behind a truck. And I'm following the flow of traffic. Me and this truck and all the cars are going like 70, 80, right? And I'm following. And for some reason, the truck, I guess he saw the cop parked on the side. He jams his brake and then just swerves to the next lane and just goes like 40 miles per hour. And so I jam my brake and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And a cop zooms past him and pulls me over. And I'm like, what happened? And he was like, sir, did you just cut that truck off? And I'm like, no, officer, I was following the truck. But it's just how it is. It's people's perspectives and everything. I feel like a lot of people look at things with one perspective and they're not open to hearing the other perspective.
No, that's where we fail as a society.
Yeah, but that's why we're giving Elom this chance right here to separate the character and give us his perspective.
That's the way I can describe it, because as soon as I walked out, pop, 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 everybody's popping their balloons, and I'm like, yo, I don't even know who these women are, but they definitely knew me. And so they asked me, you know, what does Dr. Elom want out of a relationship? What does he look for in a woman? And I proceeded to tell them, you know, I want 2 bisexual women who want to be in a relationship with me.
Oh.
You want what?
Don't talk to him.
You want what? I can't ask no questions. I will never be able to understand like people wanting more than one partner, simply because, especially when men want multiple women are a lot to deal with. Women are a lot to handle. We're a lot towards each other.
I feel like men are a lot to deal with
I'm like,
as well.
Why would you want
Honestly,
more?
I feel like God made it perfect that one man and one woman can work out perfectly, because no matter how you put it out, when you got more people, you got more opinions. When you got more opinions, you got more problems. When you got more problems, you got more time that you have to spend to finding solutions.
Oh my God.
Now, there are men, I can't lie, there are some men in this universe that can handle having 5, 6, 7 wives, because they got it like that, and they got the money and they got the status and all that. That's none of my business. I'm not here to judge. But Elom, brother, you know what? I ain't got no opinion.
Why?
I ain't got no opinion, bro. I'm gonna just let him make it, bro. Well, I'm not gonna let you make it, but
me
cook how you cook, bro.
Own a bunch of properties, not have any kids, and enjoy life. But before I could even get those words out, cut, the director said, with this heavy camera, walked over to me and said, "You can't say that." And I said, "What? Did I curse? Did I offend someone?" Because apparently they didn't even show it in the episode at all. No one was able to actually hear what I wanted, because what I wanted was not accepted. And yo, when I tell you, I was pissed.
Okay, let's break it down though. Let's really look at why they didn't want that, right? One thing that I've noticed about Arlette is a lot of people that come on the show are God-fearing people. A lot of the people that come on the show are strictly monogamous. A lot of people that come on the show are also, you know, they're all looking for the same type of things. I have not seen Arlette drop any man loving man type of clips, or women of loving women type of clips, or bisexuals loving bisexuals. So you got to think about it's her brand.
And their interview process is set up to be, you want to be in a heterosexual
relationship,
monogamous
relationship.
You know that word. Y'all know the word.
Yeah. So the problem is, if you wanted to be on a dating show and say that and have that rhetoric, there are plenty of other dating shows to do that. Like Frenchie Life's, for instance. Not saying his is that specific, but in his he had a group of a person win 3 females at one time, and they were all fine with going with that man. But Arlette Amuli's brand does not have that type of stuff. And so there could be a way that she wants to maintain the integrity of her brand. If you look at how we do our pop the balloon reactions and stuff like that, I censor stuff. I can't get every curse word, but if it comes down with people twerking, we skip it. If it's people showing cheeks, we skip it. If people are talking too raunchy and sexual, like the Sukiyana chick was doing on Funny Marcos, we cut it. It's because at the end of the day, when this content comes off, we're still God-fearing people. We still gotta keep the image of our brand.
And even though we're reacting to things, if there's things that we wouldn't sit through and watch ourselves, we're not gonna put y'all through it to watch it.
Right.
We're not gonna expose y'all to it.
So I can understand the frustration of, if this is what you want and this is what you're showing that is your perspective of this is how you want your relationship to go, you have a right to want what you want.
Right.
But people also have the right to protect their brands.
Yeah.
And if you're a guest on their show, meaning that you enter their house, you don't come in somebody's house and say, why are we eating meat? I'm a vegetarian. That house is not vegetarian.
They can find ways to accommodate you, but
right.
If that's what you wanted from the beginning, you should express that on the first episode, and you should express that on the second episode. And maybe if they want to do a spinoff, or they want to,
Well, he did express it on he just said that they cut it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said they cut it out.
Like before.
Like, talk to them about it.
Yeah, talk to them about it before getting on the platform, getting on stage in front of all these women, and they ask you what you want, and then you say that when they've had follow-up videos, like interviews with you, they've had the sit-down video, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't mention that in his other stuff.
I walked off that. Okay. When they first came to me and said that I can't say that, I thought they were actually kicking me off the show. What's the point of me being there if I'm going to be inauthentic, right? No. They wanted me to continue the show. They just didn't want me to say what I actually wanted. So if you're liking what you're hearing and you are gaining some benefit from what I'm saying, please hit the super like button down below. Go follow my TikTok and go follow my Instagram, because they actually have different versions of how I was feeling right after the show. Livid. My community, I'm telling you, I was livid because they basically suppressed my wants and they made it about them. I felt unseen, I felt used, I felt objectified. I'm done with Pop the Balloon.
I see what you're trying to say, but then it goes back to what we're saying about it's the expression, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? If you're on a show where people are majority seeking heterosexual relationships, and you're 10 episodes in of people, hours and hours in of people, male wants to date female, but then you come in and you go, male wants to date female who also wants to date male, female who also wants to date male, female, and we can become a 3-unit. You're messing up the formula. And at the end of the day, the formula is what people keep wanting to watch the show. Yeah. So your wants do not overpower the structure of the show. Just like, for instance, if in content creation, I'll break it down for you even bigger than that. Content creation. When I started this, and I have my Instagram and my things, I started off doing Christian-based music videos to games, anime, and TV shows. I would take a Christian song, I would make a video edit package, I would put them together, and I got a lot of success. I made a lot of money off of it. I did my thing. Then I came to YouTube. When I came to YouTube, I did the same formulas that I was doing on all my other content, and YouTube punished me for it. I got my first copyright strikes. I got shadow banned. They crushed me for it, right? And it was because I was trying to bring in something that they did not break, what the formula didn't want. It didn't want what I was doing. And I was expressing like, oh, I'll never do YouTube. I hate YouTube because they did this, they did this, they did this. But then I had to learn that, you know what? Rather than try to fight the system and create this and try to change something that's bigger than me, okay, I'll do a workaround. How can I share my love of the gospel? How can I also have a good time and still do content that I actually enjoy doing? Reactions with my wife. I hang out with my best friend. I record a good video. I spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. Also, I make money off of YouTube at the same time. So rather than sit there and be angry and oppressed and all that, I said, you know what? What can I do that's going to benefit me, but also go along with what's going on here? So to go on the show and just think that standards were suddenly supposed to change because it's out of pocket. But I do understand what you're saying. I do get it because I've experienced it, but
I was able to express myself in some ways, but trust me guys, they edited out so much. I have a behind the scenes video that I'm going to share with you guys in the next video because I want you guys to know that I'm done with Pop the Balloon and it's not even worth it for me anymore. Luckily, the next day, I was able to meet with my mother. And for those of you who don't know, me and my mom have a good relationship now, but it's been tumultuous, but it's taken a lot of work. And I'm so proud of her for her openness. And I'm proud of myself for being forgiving and loving and just holding myself to a beautiful standard because I was able to be honest with her. My mom, she's a good Christian woman, but I told her, I don't want children and I want my 2 girlfriends and I want us to be a team and I want us to travel and do good in the world. And she didn't reject it. She actually said, I just need to find some people who are down for that. And that's what I wanted to do on the show, but they wouldn't let me. It's
not your show.
I was pissed.
It's not your show, and it's not your right to do that. It's just not.
That and the fact of, you got to also realize this show is targeted towards Western and African regions and all that.
That's taboo.
Yeah, and some of these places that is taboo to put on the show. So it's like out here in the Western world, yeah, everybody, it's adventurous to have a boyfriend and a girlfriend and be like that. Like, it's not shunned or looked down on. Here. But
yeah,
also it's also a concept of like, when we hear it, everybody doesn't say it, but we're all looking like, like, you want 2 people, it's not shamed, but it's also not respected. Like, we don't praise people for doing it. And now I can't speak for everybody. I'm just speaking as a societal standard.
They praise people for doing whatever they want to do.
Right.
Like, it's like, okay, cool. If that's what you want to do. It couldn't be me. It wouldn't be me. But if that's what you want to do, I'm happy for you. Like,
yeah. So your mom also, one thing I had to learn as a Christian, there's a lot of people that don't want to do God's word and they don't want to do the things that God has set it up to be, and they'll fight tooth and nail of it. And I learned that, you know what, you can't cast your pearls among swines. You can't sit there and try to force knowledge or force standards or force morals on people who don't want them.
Yep.
So
find it on their own.
Your mom actually did something smart by not sitting there trying to fight you on it, because at the end of the day, it would do more damage for her to try to persecute you and shame you for it than if she just let you go through it and let life and let God do what he needs to do to fix your situation.
Yeah.
I was pissed. I didn't even mind all the backlash I was getting from look, I get it. The women there, they had already seen the show. They had a preconceived indoctrination of who Dr. Elom was, and they let me have it. What are you gonna do? I can hold space. I am a great space holder for your emotions, for your thoughts, for your ideas. But even if I feel like I'm being attacked and you're not making any coherent sense, I can still hold space for you. And so that's what I did.
In the show, I don't think you did a very good job of demonstrating that, though. There was one lady that actually did give you some constructive criticism about being humble, and your response to her was, "Who's your dentist?" I don't feel like that is a good example of what you're saying you are. Not holding it against you. I can only speak on what I saw on the show. I can't speak on you about what you do in your actual life. But from what we saw on the show, you didn't come off that way. You didn't come off receptive. You told one girl that your confidence was intimidating for her, that she doesn't know how to self-love. It's like when we're outside looking at the interaction between y'all, you're gonna get backlash because a lot of people are looking at it from the girl's perspective and a lot of guys are seeing it from your perspective. But one thing people forget, there is a group of people who are always gonna be looking at it from a neutral perspective. And as a neutral perspective, I didn't like it. I didn't think it was appropriate. I didn't think it was professional from a man's standard. I felt like when you came for that lady's teeth, I felt like that was just, it was out of nowhere because she even gave you all the respect. She praised you, she spoke about it, but she just gave you honest criticism. And your response is, who's your dentist? Because I know I'm not your dentist. It's like, what?
He's being petty.
Yeah, you're being petty. And so when you're being petty, people have a right to say, Dr. Elom, you were being petty.
And I'm grateful to all the women who shared their opinions of me and wanted to express to me, but it was all just a show. After the show, half the girls on that show wanted to talk to me anyways, and we ended up having a great conversation, and they were actually pretty cool. But on camera, they wanted to attack me, which was fine, but I am a proponent of authenticity. And so how I am on camera is how you're gonna catch me off camera. I'm not nice, but I'm kind and considerate. And, you know, I'm an emotional being too, so sometimes you may catch me on a bad day, but don't take it personal. I just want to be free to express myself, free to express my wants, and I wasn't able to do that on Pop the Balloon. So thank you, Pop the Balloon, for rejecting me, because you initiated Dr. Elom's YouTube channel. And here is where people are going to be able to find the truth about Dr. Elom, about his life. I'll keep it vulnerable, I'll keep it real. And if you can't catch these YouTube videos, be sure to catch my Instagram Live every Saturday at 12 noon Pacific.
Okay. Well, we heard you out. Here's one thing I want to draw back to. In the first episode you were with, and there was a lady on that show who received a long line of criticisms, some fair, some out of pocket. She received a line of criticisms from the men in the lineup that you were in. And when it was your turn to speak with her, you told her she needs to learn how to be humble. And you also told her she needs to seek therapy. When you're saying to me right now, right? When you're saying this to me, that you are a person, that your kindness and the way you present yourself on the show and all this, right? When you preach to me that this is not a character, this is you in general, what am I really supposed to process from watching a man and a group of men also sit there and take jabs and jabs at a female by herself? But then when it's your turn, the guy who's saying that you can be an emotional space for people and all this, not try to put words to your mouth, but when I see you finally get that platform, your response is, yeah, have you sought therapy? You know, humbleness is blah, blah, blah. That's not, you're not showing any level of grace with that. And so now I'm going to look at you and I'm going to perceive you as, oof, there's something wrong with you, brother. That lady didn't deserve that. You didn't give her grace. And you also ignored the behaviors of the men around you. Just like the other episode with the girl who they kept saying her forehead was big and all that. And then they got mad at her because the dude that called her forehead big, she retaliated back.
Oh,
and then
Jasmine.
Yeah, and Jasmine. And then they gave her a lecture talking about, you know, you got to learn to let it go. And people are going to insult you all the time. Why do people have to be verbal punching bags to people? And then when they defend themselves, we have to hear lectures about being humble. I didn't ask you to bully me, but now I need to be humble to you. I understand meekness, I understand humbleness, but there's also an eye for an eye. There's also do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Jesus said, turn the other cheek. You can turn the other cheek, but eventually you run out of cheeks. You get slapped from every angle. At the end of the day, look at how many warriors in the Bible God created. David, Saul, Samson. These are not turn the other cheek people, even though they did their own flaws. So it's like, I to say that this is the authentic you, but then I also see you do this. This is why I'm on the fence about you, because I started off that episode of Pop the Balloon where you were on. I actually liked you. I was praising you for the first time. If you watch the reaction, I was praising you until that point. And then I said, oh wait, there's a red flag there. There's something wrong with this brother. And then episode 2, you confirmed even more. You got anything to say?
Oh, I'm just listening.
So at the end of the day, I hope, Dr. Elom, your show, I hope you have all the success. You already are a doctor, so I praise you for that. I hope you have the success that you need. I hope the truth that you expose of the Pop the Balloon, if it is genuine truth and it is genuine from the heart, I hope it succeeds. I hope it works out. But I also am going to also stand by, I can only judge by what you do. And what you demonstrated to me, morally, I don't agree with. So I got no hate against him. I understand a lot of what he said because he's very intelligent.
He literally just said, whatever you saw on camera, that's what he is off camera.
Right. So all I can say is, you do your thing, brother. I hope life works out for you. Just like I hope life works out for everybody else, whether they like us, whether they dislike us, doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, that's it. Anything else?
No, I really don't have nothing to add. This was more of the, like, if you watch the videos, you went on more of a rant and a spiel than I did. But I think it's more so not because of his character, but I think it's more so there are a lot of other men in the world like that. And just like how I get on the women, I want women to be held accountable. I think it's just more like you want him to be held accountable for his actions and what he does and how he acts. And you can't sit there and look crazy when somebody, if you pop somebody and they pop you back, you can't be shocked that they popped you because you initiated it. You hit them first type thing. So, no, I really don't have much to say like that.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Let us know.
I'm gonna send you a bill for making me hurt my finger, though.
Hey, at the end of the day, shout out to him. If you guys agree with our take, that's fine. If you guys have something you guys don't agree with, that's fine. We could be adults. Let's be adults. But what I will say is, if you're going to be an adult and you want to defend his side,
be respectful.
Be respectful.
We can have open dialogue and conversation, but when y'all get in the comments being disrespectful, calling us names and calling us out our names and all that, that's a no-go. We just not
really not about
that.
Don't forget to join the Discord. All right, y'all.